here to give you guys some tips and some suggestions on how to master the awesome customization of your Google inbox. So in order to do that, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Anyone that wants to join in, that's awesome. If you want to catch this on the replay, that's awesome too. Remember, you can also chat me if you don't want to chime in. This on the sidebar if you guys have any questions as we go through this information. All right, so let's hop right into it. We are going to share our screen here real quick. Let's share my entire screen. Okay, I'm going to present this to everybody. Cool, look at that matrix thing going on. All right, let me hide this so you don't need that anymore. All right, so we are going to customize our inbox, and here's what I mean by this. You know, I have a cool little different background. I have my priority inbox set. You know, I have some labels over here on the side. I added a calendar down here. I moved my chat over here to the right-hand side. You know, these are just some options of customization of your inbox, but let me show you how it looks from scratch. All right, I have a dummy account here. Let me go full screen. All right, so here's what an ordinary Gmail inbox can look like for you. Okay, so no conversation view. It's just a string of emails that you can see here that's organized by the date. So the first thing about customizing your inbox is knowing where to go, and the first place you go over here is to this gear on the right-hand corner. This is your settings gear. So if you just click on that, we have some options here. Okay, the first things I want to bring to your attention is this display. That's, you know, okay, we have comfort, we have cozy, we have compact. All right, so as you can see, as we toggle between those two, it's going to change our inbox appearance, okay? If you have old eyes like me, you might want to just keep that right there on comfortable. All right, the next thing you want to do is we can go to configure your inbox, okay? This is going to set all the different promotional things. We can have the default settings are primary, social, and promotions. You can also hit updates and forums, okay? But right now, I'm going to show you a more detailed, more advanced way to customize your inbox. So let's go here and let's go to settings. Okay, when we go to settings, we're going to have a list of options up here horizontally at the top. We're going to go from right to left. The first thing I want to show you guys is themes. Okay, themes will give your Gmail a more, I don't know, for lack of a better word, a more fun look. So let's check the different themes that we have here. We have color themes if you just want to go with a basic color. We have some HD themes. We have some custom themes, some classic themes. So, you know, it's really up to your preference, you know. Let's just pick one that's fun. Let's see. Let's pick the beach. Who doesn't like to go to the beach? Everybody likes to go to the beach. Okay. And as you notice, as I clicked on that, the background here has now changed. Okay. It has more of a beach theme. You know, if I wanted to go with graffiti, okay, some of them will ask you to choose your city. Okay, because what's going to happen is by the time of day, depending on what time of day it is, it's going to change that theme. Okay, so here's my graffiti background, as you can see, a little bit dark for my taste. Notice how we got kicked out of settings. So go back here to the right-hand side, go to settings, go to themes. Okay, let's pick something. Let's go back to the beach. That's where I wish I was at right now. That's where my wife and kids are right now. They're at the beach. All right, here we go. So that's our themes. Everyone gets it. It automatically saves. You don't have to do anything more than that. Okay, this offline tab right here, that's basically to install Gmail offline. So here's what that means. Let's say you are in a situation where you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't have the internet, but you still want to be able to check your Gmail. Well, great. You can completely do that by installing this app called Gmail Offline. Okay, it's available here on Chrome. When you click this, when you go to offline and click this, it automatically pops up a window if you're on Wi-Fi, if you're on the internet, to this app page. And then you can just go ahead and available on Chrome, click on it, and go through the process of installing this app onto your browser. Okay, I already have this feature, so I'm not going to go through this process, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You just hit this download, and you would take it from there. So going back to our Gmail account, the next thing is labs. Labs are really, really Really awesome. If you are in our Mount Ephraim district, this is great. Even if you're not in our Mount Ephraim district, you still have access to labs if you have a personal Gmail account. So labs are basically experimental features that is in, a beta version, if you will. So right down here are all the available labs. You could also search for some labs that may not be in this list. If you do a Google search for Gmail labs, you'll get a list of old labs that may still be available, okay? But your attention needs to be right here to the right-hand side, enable and disable. So basically, you would just go ahead and read these different labs and apply it. Some of the things that I really like to use, this one right down here. Right side chat. Okay, this brings the chat message from the left-hand side over here, and it brings it over to the right-hand side. So I'm just going to go ahead and enable that. Another thing that I like to use is unread message icon. Okay, this is going to put how many unread messages I have right in my top tab. Okay, so I only have one window up here right now, but let's get another window. Okay, I'm not using Chrome to demonstrate this as a sign, but these are tabs right here. You would have a notification. So let's go ahead and enable that. Let's just pick one more. Let's see. How about this? Google Calendar Gadget. This will place all of your appointments, all your Google Calendar on the left-hand side of your screen. So we're going to go ahead and enable that. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. You can go ahead and read. Some of these labs may be really speaking to you more than others, but you simply want to scroll down to the bottom and you need to make sure you hit the save changes. Now, when you do that here, okay, you're going to notice that the chat now is over here to our right-hand side. And as far as our calendar goes, I just had to hit these three little dots right here to populate it. And there's our Google Calendar, right here. That's my Gmail account. Back to our settings by going over here. Settings. Okay. The chat feature. You just want to kind of check out the chat feature and make sure your chat is on. Obviously, if you want no distractions, if you just want to, go about your email without getting any kind of chat notifications, settings is where you go. Click chat off and then save changes. Okay. All right, let's go back here to settings. Boom, boom, boom. Forwarding and pop. Okay, this is a feature that if you want to have for whatever reason, your Gmail email being forwarded to another email account. So we'll go over this in detail in another tutorial. This is really not for today. We'll go over filters in another tutorial. We'll go over accounts in another tutorial. But what I really am excited about showing you here is inbox. Okay, now Gmail is defaulted, and I'll show you here. Gmail is defaulted to have your conversations basically not in threads, just one-by-one conversation. So this is going to come into your inbox by date. Okay, but there's this awesome feature called priority inbox. Okay, so let's figure out what that is. So inbox type, right now it's set to default. So if I click this drop box here, I'm going to scroll down to priority inbox. But let's talk about these other features right here. So this is going to put if you click on important first, this is going to put all of your important email first. This is going to put all your unread email first, your starred email first, and then your priority inbox first. So let's talk about priority inbox because the others are self-explanatory. Now, here's what I like about priority inbox. It literally prioritizes every type of email that you want coming in. So for example, the default setting is 4 different topics, 4 different sections, and it has important and unread first, starred, empty, and everything else. Well, you can modify this if you want. So for example, I'm going to make number 1, I'm going to keep that as only unread emails first. Okay? I'm going to go number 2, I'm going to keep that as starred. I'm going to add a section here for number 3. I'm going to use that as important. And I'll keep number 4 as everything else. Now, a couple of distinctions. What's the difference between starred and what's the difference between important? Well, here's what the difference is. Important is going to be an important email that's important today. It's important tomorrow. It's important for forever or until you make it not important anymore. A start email may or may not be important, but a start email is that it's an email that's calling you to do some type of action. Okay, you may not be able to get to that action right then and there, but start email is basically an indicator that you can add to an email that's calling your attention to it, saying, hey, Fabian, don't forget, you need to do something with this email. So I have that in my second category. I have my important in my third, and I have all other types of emails coming in, last. Okay, inbox read count. Okay, you have these options to toggle between. Again, this is pretty self-explanatory. Make sure your importance markers, if you're using priority email, make sure you have it as showed markers, and we'll go over that in a second. This little video, I'm not going to bore you, but this little video is a great little fun video to kind of explain the details of what priority inbox is. Okay. And down here, filtered mail, I would suggest putting don't override filters, and we'll go over filters in another tutorial. And of course, you want to, save your changes. Okay, that kicks you back out. Now, look what we have here. We have our priority inbox. Our unread is all here. I can hide that. Our start is here. I can hide that. Our important and everything else. Now for this dummy account, I really don't have anything but dummy emails in here. So let's go through some emails. Let's make some emails unread. So I'm going to unread that. I'm going to unread that. All right. I'm going to pretend that this email from Mary Mannion, 8th grade graduation singers, I'm going to pretend that email has some type of urgency, but I'm not going to do it right away. So I'm going to star it. Okay. Another way to star an email is by just clicking the star next to the email right here. So let's say, for example, I want to star, Jessica's email. Okay, great. I also have the important indicator. Let's say, let's make sure we open this up. Okay. And let's say I want to say Guinevere's email. Let's say I want to mark that as important because I know it's important. And we're going to open that up too. And let's refresh this email so we can see what we have here. Okay, I'm going to hide all my categories. And then here we go. So when you come to your email, it's not something overwhelming. It's not something, oh my goodness, I hate my email. It's really self-explanatory. Now it's hard to read this. Let me change my background settings. So remember, we can go to themes here and we can choose a theme. Let's choose a dark color. Okay, great. Let's go back to our inbox. Okay, that's a little bit more easier for you to read, right? So here we go. We have our unread. We have 1 out of 20, starred, 1 out of 2, important, and everything else. Well, I know that my unread is all the emails that I haven't read yet, okay? I know that my starred is calling me to do some action, but I'm not going to do it right away. So I had to do something with Mary Mannion. I had to do something with Jessica. I'm just going to choose not to do it right this time, but I have it in my starred category. Now, important, Guinevere's email is going to be important because this Civil War map, oh my goodness, the level of importance of this is just like, over the top, completely over the top. And then obviously everything else, guess what, guys? That's everything else. So that's a really, really quick overview. One more thing I want to show you in the settings feature is the general settings. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road here, ladies and gentlemen. And again, everything is really self-explanatory. The main thing is all you need to know is where to go for the settings. That's this gear over here to the right. Click it, settings, and then you can have fun through this. You can't mess anything up. Don't be scared. You can always go back to default settings. You can always go back to your inbox and go to, default if you want to. You can erase all the changes that you made. But in this general section, again, just some default things that you may want to pay attention to. I'm going to bring your attention to this maximum size. You can show 50 conversations per page. You can obviously increase that, okay, or decrease it depending on what you wanted to do. I would always display external images, okay? You can ask before, maybe you're concerned about having some type of viruses coming in through your email, all right? The default, you have reply and reply all. Well, what does that mean? Let's see what that looks like here. Let's go to our inbox. Cancel, forgot to save. Let's go back to our inbox here. Okay, let's say this email from, I'm going to pick on Shannon again, 8th grade class trip. Okay, now the default here is reply. Okay, this is a bad example of an email. Let me go to something else. That's another bad because this is a Google form. Okay, great. This is a good example. So this is an email actually from myself. So when you click this over here, the default is going to be reply, okay? Or you can simply click reply here or reply all. But when you go to the settings and you go to our general default, and where is it at? Here. Maybe you want the behavior to be reply all. Now, if you're going to do this, just beware, because sometimes you're in a chain of emails and sometimes you don't want to reply all. So that's going to be something up to you. But going back to that Fabian email, okay? So now look here. Now it's changed to reply all being first and then reply being second. This to all. Okay, so just be careful if you're going to go with that route. Going back to settings, going back to general, scrolling down, default text style. So you can make your text whatever you want it. You can change it to Comic Sans. It's kind of a more fun look, you know. You can make the text a little bit larger. You know, this is something that's pretty cool. Conversation view is on. Conversation view here, if you don't want it, is off. Well, what's the difference? It tells you right here. Sets whether emails of the same topic are grouped together. I love conversation view. It helps keep your inbox really, really clean. You know, some people don't like conversation view. Well, if you don't, if you want this the long trail of emails that's not in a thread, you just got to go here and click conversation view off. Okay. Send and archive. It's right now it's hidden. I like to show that because basically after I send an email, I have an option. Let me show you. I have an option. Once I send an email, I can archive it into a folder or into a label. So I'll go to this Fabian Brown folder again. So let's say I hit reply all. Let's say I'm typing whatever I'm typing, and then I have an option. I can just send it, or I can send and archive it. So if I have this email set to a label to automatically go to an archive, it would automatically do that because let's say I'm one and done and I don't want junking my inbox up. This is what that is for. Going back to our settings and general. Oh my goodness, the undo send. Guys, if you don't know about this undo send, oh boy, oh boy. First of all, let's enable it. This is the master, and I'm going to make it 30 seconds. You ever send an email and you're like, whoops, I forgot to put an attachment? Or you ever send an email and you're like, whoops, I put my big foot in my mouth? Well, the undo send will be your best friend. Okay, this gives you the ability to basically retract the email for a period of time of up to 30 seconds after you hit the send button. Okay, so this is something that you may want to enable. This could be your best friend, especially when you're writing your boss a nasty email that you don't want to get fired about. Just kidding. All right, so stars here, you know, we not only can use stars to prioritize our, whoops, let's save the changes. We can not only use stars to prioritize, you know, emails that we need to respond to, but Google also allows you to give different colors to the stars. So maybe if it's really, really urgent, you label it the red color. Or if it's, you know, kind of urgent, you label it the yellow color. Or if it's like, hey, you have some time, you label it the green color. All right, so you have the option of just making one color star, 4 color stars, or all stars. You have that option of doing that right there. So let's say it's 4, and let's say you want to make it the red star, and you want to make it the yellow star. So you're going to take that out here, and you're going to put that up there. You're going to click and drag, and so we got, I don't want that, I want green. Okay, so and let's say you have a question mark star. Okay, so this is now going to prioritize your emails, and you can say, you know, the order, red, yellow, green. All right, red is really, really urgent. Yellow is not so much. Green is you have a little bit of time. And question mark means basically you have a question on that email. And then, of course, you would go ahead and hit Save Changes. You know, you have notifications here, guys. This is all self-explanatory. You know, I think a very important thing to mention right here is the signature. You definitely want to have some kind of signature in there. And you can type it in, you know, your name, you know, your title. Okay, and maybe your phone number. You know, maybe your email, even though it's already going to be in there. You know, maybe a quote. Okay. You know, and then you can save that. Okay, personal level indicators. Again, show snippets. I would suggest showing snippets. Basically, you can see a small snippet of what the email is without ever going into email. And if you're a person who goes on vacation, if you're a teacher, more than likely not, but if you do go on vacations, you could have an autoresponder, and you can click on that, and you can set it so when you're on vacation, it automatically gives a generic email back to the person who sent you an email saying, hey, listen, I'm out of town, leave me alone, don't call me, don't bother me, I'm on vacation. All right, we're gonna hit save changes here. Oh, got it. And that's it. If you guys have any questions about what we went over today, email, Google Hangout me. That's probably the best way to do it. But that's basically customizing your inbox within 10 minutes. So let's stop sharing our screen. Let's go back to our Gmail account. All right, here we are. So we're here, Google Live. We have one viewer, so if there's any questions, now's your time to ask. And if not, man, that's all we have here for today. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully I made it fun for you. Any questions, you can email me at fbrown@mountephraimschools.com. That's fbrown, the letter F like Frank, Brown like the color, at mountephraimschools.com, or any kind of questions that you may or may not have. Hope you have an awesome day. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Make it an awesome day. Make it better than yesterday.